Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, everyone. My name is Jingmei Li from Alibaba Cloud, and today I'm going to give you an introduction to Alibaba ET CityBrain. In this webinar, you will learn what ET CityBrain is and what we have done with it using real cases. For partners, you will also learn how you can contribute to it. Before we talk about CityBrain, we need to understand ET Brain, which is the technology brand for Alibaba evolution of data intelligence. Cloud computing, big data, and AI are three fundamental pillars, and ET Brain eventually is the shipping vehicle for the technology. Cloud computing provides the computing power. Big data deals with the volume, variety, and velocity. And finally, AI provides the core algorithms for solving the complex problems in different verticals. ET Brain came a long journey since April 2016, when a prototype robot called Small Eye came out and successfully predicted a winner of a singing competition. Later in August 2016, ET first debuted. ET CityBrain first launched in October 2016 in Hangzhou City, China, and for the first time, it made a city to think. Ever since, Alibaba Cloud launched ET Industrial Brain, Environment Brain, Aviation Brain, and Agricultural Brain in June this year. In this diagram on the left, you will see types of data extracted from cameras, cell phones, IT systems, etc. ET Brain in the middle transforms these data with the wisdom and then empowers the business in the verticals like traffic and transportation, agriculture, medical, aviation, etc. Eventually, these vertical systems generate new data, which will circle back to the sensing phase for further data fusion. Above all, a closed-loop data intelligence will form as such. ET Brain provides AI capabilities from the infrastructure level of GPU servers, FPGA, to fundamental technologies like quantum computing, autonomous driving, blockchain, etc., to AI products and technologies like image search, platform of AI for training, video recognition, to speech recognition, text-to-speech, and NLP. Today, ET Brain has landed in verticals that are data-intensive, where AI can be fully implemented in real scenarios. This diagram describes a solution architecture for ET CityBrain. On the bottom, you will see it shows the various data sources like traffic lights, buses, taxis, maps, weather data, telecom data, surveillance cameras, etc. After they are all integrated into the Apsara, which is the cloud platform of Alibaba Cloud, they are used for building the vertical specific data models, such as traffic and transportation. This is the data resource platform layer. On top of it, there's the intelligence engine platform that is composed of various business engines, such as data fusion engine, traffic control optimization engine, video analysis engine, etc. All the way on the top is the applications layer, where we open the space for partners to build business apps for the customers. Let's look at some real demos before we dive into more details. What you'll see here is a demo user portal for a CityBrain customer. I have logged in as myself as ET Brain, a demo user, and I'm showing the current language presented is English. In this user portal, I pretend I'm a customer for Hangzhou CityBrain. First of all, we'll show some indexes like detection, the number of cameras connected, how many events have been detected this month, for alerts, like events alerts for this month aggregated, equipments that have malfunctions, etc. For optimization, how many signals have been optimized today, how many congestion have been resolved. For prioritization, how many traffic lights have been prioritized this month, how many vehicles have requested in this month. And all these indexes can be configured to show whatever the customer really pays attention to. The next section for this portal, again, this is all customizable. Depends what the customer really pays attention to. And this is like a visualization for some highlight scenarios. For example, for the events perception, we can look at this as a big screen. For example, if the customer has a 2-story high big screen in a command center, in the operation center, they can use a product called DataV, which is shown in this URL. And this is totally configurable with the same data, same API that supports the Citibrand platform. This is a Chinese, but can be easily translated to English or any other languages. This is more for visualization. You can see the number of events, the percentage for your conception, and how many roads are congested. And it also shows where you got these data sources from, some real video feeds, etc. These are all totally configurable. You can configure as many as big screens as you want. If you don't want, this whole section can be hidden as well. And for the applications, you can see there's 6 applications shown, but we will also allow other third-party applications to be displayed in here so that a customer can be a more complicated and complete portfolio of applications. We can just click some of them to see what it shows. What you're seeing here is the map of Hangzhou City, and it shows the congestion length, how many kilometers is currently congested. But again, this is demo data only, so you can just see what it looks like, but they may not be real, like the total traffic efficiency index and what it looks like for a particular district. And the colors can show the congestion from all the way to the deep red all the way to green, and their trend showing the trending of this congestion by area, by road. You can even click on one of the roads you want to further dive in to see what is like for this particular road, the traffic efficiency trending by the time compared to the average congestion index for the month. Some diagnosis real data. And for the junction or the intersection, we will even show more data and in a more close-up view of this intersection. You can even add this to your watch list so you can see it next time. Particular traffic light plan with the algorithm behind the scene. There are other applications that we can see in this demo, like the priority scheduling. So if a special vehicle like ambulance has requested optimization for their route, of course you will need some like a mobile app to really claim this request, and once the police give a red light, give the green light to the special vehicle, they will get optimization along the way. We'll dive into more details in the next presentation, so you'll see what's happening behind the scene. But the goal is to give the best priority for the special vehicles request so they can get from to the destination as soon as possible. Some other applications like this traffic and transportation organization. This is demo. We'll see some earlier data, like in the June data. And this is for some ramp for some highways. From north to the south, the ramp enter a particular overpass. What's the upstream congestion is look like, and also downstream congestion. And again, you can see the trending for each day, for the week, and some recommendation for the control. What's the action that can be taken by the police to improve the situation? And also, if there are other title situations that could be identified to the police so that they can either take the recommendation into their plan for their next phase. And this particular application shows the traffic induction. You can see those big screen signs and shows the drivers that in the front there's congestion, or what's the driving time from this particular point to a popular POI. And based on the situation and all sorts of data, the Citibrand platform will calculate and also automatically generate a induction plan that could be and generated into a text, a paragraph of text, which could be sent over to either the radio station or the big screen to display on the side of the road, or even to some navigator apps that can help the drivers to see what's the best route to take from the current point to their destination. And this one is the event perceiving. So you can see these are all different types. 110, that's like a 911, like a police hotlines, some other fire hotlines, ambulance hotlines, and by the status, like pending or in progress and resolved. And resources, is it by the emergency system or some other video analysis or from some navigation system. And of course, these are all mock data, but you can see if there's an event detected, and the police can look at more details like these real-time video feeds. And if the customer wants to, they can use the API interface to further connect to their existing system and take care of the incident by either resolving right away or assign some police forces to the scene and resolve it there. And eventually, we will take the status back to the Citibrand platform and shows the current status. So these are just great examples of applications, and we can go back to the portal. And this Citibrand portal, some other sections we have in the portal, like because these are all different data sources behind the scene. We want to show the customer what data sources or data assets they have in this list. And this could be real-time scanning of their data sources by using the data resource platform. So these are all automatically populated. And platform diagnosis. You can see all sorts of the nodes monitored, how many healthy nodes, how many nodes that have alerts received, etc. Okay, and in the next section of the presentation, we'll tell you how we implement it behind the scene using a great technology for ET City Brain. Next, I will take traffic and transportation as example to talk about more details of some real city brain scenarios. These are traffic perception and optimization, incident detection and response, hazardous and suspicious vehicle tracking, public transportation optimization. First, let's look at traffic perception and optimization. The goal of the traffic perception is to integrate various data sources, such as microwave sensors, underground loops, vehicle routes, and road networks, etc., and then generate the traffic indexes with algorithms behind the scene. For example, the traffic pattern that does the OD analysis and shows where people travel from and to in a city. These can be further used in decision-making support, like business route selection. Behind the index calculation, as one of the core engines, for example, the data fusion engine merges the trajectory data like taxi, bus, GPS, video recognized trajectories into enhanced trajectory with more integrity. These enhanced trajectory and adjusted traffic metrics will further get fused and generate the final traffic index for the application, traffic lights timing allocation. When it comes to the traffic light optimization, the optimization engine will take the input from traffic perception and existing timing schedules. The algorithm eventually outputs the optimization plan based on the specific request, such as single intersection, sub-area, or area optimization. Traffic light control system can remote control and support timing schedule inputs through the engine API services. As the real case in Hangzhou City, the traffic light optimization plan has updated every 15 minutes. Congestion rate in peak hours got reduced by 9.2%, and average travel time has reduced by 3 minutes. Next, we will take a look at incident detection and response. In Hangzhou downtown area, their 3,500 traffic camera time has reduced by 15.3%. A real case study is the incident detection and action systems in Malaysia City Brain. Integrated to the command system, police call center and police duty system can work as a detection, action, evaluation closed loop for continuous improvements. Another use scenarios for the proactive event detection and response is the dynamic green wave for priority vehicles. In a typical China city, it's usually congested, and when the emergency sirens go off, the cars before them may or may not always be able to clear the pathway. There's the solution. When an incident gets detected, dispatch center receives the call and assigns the ambulance to send a patient from A to B. It first generates a shortest path. Along the path, we can easily identify intersections and traffic lights and their light schedules. The video analysis can recognize the queue length before the ambulance arrives. It then calculates the speed and exact time that needs to allow the queue to clear. This way, when the ambulance arrives, it can pass through without any delay. In Xiaoshan district of Hangzhou City, on average, the travel time of emergency vehicles has reduced by 50%. The next scenario is about passenger volume monitoring and prediction in areas such as subway stations. The alert engine generates crowdlessness alerts, prediction alerts, while the system detects the passenger volume, moving speed by leveraging video recognition, station Wi-Fi, gate pass-throughs, etc. This is a real case for the visualization of the passenger volume of a Shanghai metro station. We can clearly see the monitoring of the gates, train platform, and each floors. Next, let's look at a hazardous and suspicious vehicle tracking. This scenario uses search by image when a hit-and-run incident happens as long as the image is captured by the surveillance camera at the scene. The video analysis platform will be able to track where the vehicle is and at what time. The same technology can be applied to hazardous vehicle tracking. These scenarios provide safety controls to the police. Finally, let's look at a public transportation optimization. In a city context, public transportation like buses are very often not well designed. Bus bunching happens quite often, and other times people wait for too long for the bus to come. With the data sources, data fusion engine will easily calculate the measures needed, such as density of bus stops, time of travel, demand and supply matching, etc. Eventually, the optimization engine recommends the bus routes, schedules, and even designated bus lines needed, if any. Real case for this is Suzhou City in China. The buses transported 17% more passengers without adding new buses. ET City brand today has launched in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Hangzhou, Chongqing, Suzhou in China, and more cities are on the way. With today's more focus in traffic and transportation, we can naturally expand ET City brand to other verticals by business dimension or this data dimension. For example, city administration can leverage some traffic data and scenarios, while we target to improve the overall public transportation experience for the citizens. We would like to unify and exchange data with airports, subways, railways, and even travel agencies. With everything said above, behind ET City brand, these are the portfolio of Alibaba Cloud Big Data and AI products and technologies, on top of what City brand provides to the customer directly. Partners can always leverage these products and technologies as further building blocks. ET City brand is not only a product, a solution, but also an open platform that's looking forward for innovation with industry partners, which could collaborate with us as service providers, solution providers, or sales channel partners. We would like to build a prosperous ecosystem with our partners. This is the end of my presentation, and thanks for listening. Stay tuned, and Q&A will follow right after this. So there are no further questions, right? We have already have some real good questions. I'll just read the question and provide an answer. Here we go. Question number 1. Could you share on how a city will implement the solution? What are the prerequisites and milestones in this process? First of all, as part of the normal business process, some pre-sales will happen first, of course. Scoping will be done to have SOW done with pre-sales solution architects. But I guess this question is more about later on for the implementation. So for the technical part, depending on how complicated your scenarios and data sources are, usually it's up to the customer to decide whether they would like to deploy through public cloud or private cloud. And data sources are the most important prerequisite. You may want to identify the authority in your government customer who can get different departments to provide data at the first place. So that's really the key. Based on our past experience, both in China and overseas, this is very time consuming. Then investment in the server hardware, if you decide to go with the private cloud option, that's the other thing. Finally, either you have a particular implementation partner in mind, or will help with you about the sourcing for some local partner to build the applications would be usually easier on top of engines, the data layer, etc. So that would be easier if there's a local partner to help. For phases, usually their design, implementation, go live, support, and maintenance, very common. Okay, so this is the first question. Question number 2. What will the solution look like in 5 to 10 years? How would you see this develop? Okay, first of all, I think the technologies will definitely evolve, just like AI, artificial intelligence. When smart city first came out, probably more than 10 years ago, nobody talked about AI yet. Network like 5G, IoT will also evolve. From this perspective, the city brand will definitely be more efficient. And overall, talking about business values, the city management will just be more efficient with these great technology when they evolve. And of course, our product, our platform, the technology behind the scene will also evolve. Also, from ecosystem perspective, I can also see more and more customers, very likely the government will own and run ET City brand as an open platform. And more developers, either they're individual developers or individual software vendors, will build new innovative apps on top. So Alibaba Cloud definitely won't be the only player. Okay, I think there's another question. The question is, this is possible in China with different data privacy rules, but how about abroad when there are more rules? Well, as I said, depends on how complicated your scenarios are and your data sources are. Up to you whether you want to go with public cloud or private cloud. But either way, your data is still your data. You own your own data. And if you wonder about Alibaba Cloud's data security policy overseas, you can always go to visit alibabacloud.com and check on security and compliance. ET Citibrand will not do anything different than that. So you can always just read those rules and make sure you understand and that satisfies your needs. Okay, I think that's the end of the question queue. If there are no more questions, this is the end of our session. And thank you very much for listening. And we look forward to more opportunities to work with one of you. Thank you.